to all the televiewers of Radio TV Artesia. You are actually watching the newest and the only business TV show created for the Artesia Chamber of Commerce in cooperation with Radio TV Artesia. Today, in our first episode, we're going to have two very special guests. One is the owner and broker from Platinum West Funding, and the other one is from the city of Artesia to be sharing us about the newest project from the city of Artesia to reach out to the community and the residents. So for our first guest, I'd like to introduce to you the owner and broker from Platinum West Funding, AJ Dudheker. Hello AJ, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Okay, have a seat and put your microphone on. So we'll talk about what you do and your business.
Sure.
I think you just came back from India from a business trip?
Correct, last night.
Wow, so we are very grateful that you actually came to guest today, even though you just came from India and you flew like 21 hours, I think?
That's correct.
Okay, so let's talk more about Platinum West Funding. Can you share with us what you do and what else you do?
Yeah, well, I can let you know how I got into it. I actually graduated from St. Louis U. I did my MBA in accounting and finance. Started working for a Pillsbury company for after a couple of years.
Did you say Pillsbury?
Yes.
Oh, I love
the
that.
Doughboy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hired after I finished my MBA, and then I moved to Minneapolis for a couple of years. From there, I came to California. Then I was hired by another company in the similar type of business in Long Beach. We had several other businesses. One of them was the real estate division. And then I was made chief financial officer of that division. Okay. And I oversaw about 17 construction projects. That's where I kind of fell in love with the real estate. So that's where I learned a lot of the construction phases and financing. And then in about 1987, I started my own business. Started out with the real estate, and then I added the financing to it. And I've been in the finance business ever since.
So you were saying financing business. Is it something that you really wanted to do from the beginning, or you just got inspired because of the work experience that you had?
Well, because of my major in my master's was a finance and accounting, and so obviously that was my forte. And then I did a lot of that as a chief financial officer of this company. So, and I learned a lot, and I understand that real estate has always been, especially in major metropolitan cities like California, LA and San Francisco, people make a lot of money in that real estate. So obviously I got into that, and we've been doing this mortgage financing for over 30 years, residential, commercial, construction, land acquisition, development. I've done several, and with my higher level of education in finance and accounting, I attracted a lot of high net worth people who would really wanted to deal with me because they knew that I understand their needs. So, and so far we have done over 6,000 clients loans, some of them more than once.
Oh my gosh. And then you said you moved from another state. So what is the decision why you put up your business here in LA?
Well, I was already here because when I was working for this company called Copel Industries in Long Beach, we had several divisions. And then I was put in charge of the real estate division, and somehow we wrapped up that business, that company. We had some issues, decided to go on my own, you know. So that's when in 1987 I started in Huntington Beach.
Did you see the need? Why you said if that was in 1997 or 1987? Oh my gosh, that was too long ago. So 1987, was the real estate booming, or?
Well, it's not as much of a real estate booming. It was, interest rate was pretty high. Okay. And as interest rates start dropping, there was a big need for people to refinance. And I sort of, in our community, kind of invented that no-cost loan, where we were able to refinance people at a lower rate without them paying any closing costs or so. And people initially, they didn't trust us. They thought that's not doable. How can we do without any cost? But since the lending system allowed us to use the credit we were getting from the lender to cover the closing cost. And that got pretty popular, and that also helped us to refinance several times the same clients, because as the rates start dropping, they didn't mind refinancing again, since it didn't cost them any more money. You know? So we have funded, I would say, over $1 billion so far. So
in 33 years or 30
yeah,
plus years.
probably more now. So
you saw that opportunity, and it is a good thing, because they say in every challenge, what you have to see or look for is an opportunity. Because sometimes, if let's say real estate is down, the tendency of other people is to leave that industry because it's down. But what you did, you saw the opportunity, and that's what's good about it, because we always have to see something good in, you know, in every challenge. But anyway, my question is, in financing industry, so people loan from you.
Well, see, the way...
What is your market? Residential, commercial?
All of it, basically, because of my expertise or experience in this industry, commercial and residential. Residential is pretty easy to do, because the guidelines are pretty straightforward, you know, and they just have to meet income qualification, credit qualification, and the property has to appraise. Those are the three basic ingredients. You know, commercial is a little bit more complicated, because you have to project out the income, rental income, and there's a lot of other issues, and there's environmental issues you had to consider. So they are a little bit more difficult, but people really wanted to work with me because they knew that I had the expertise and the knowledge,
and that you can help them.
Then I can help them. And you mentioned about the real estate going up and down. See, once you have your expertise in this, you can find ways to help people in both sides, you know.
Exactly.
Now, we have done when people's, you know, the real estate values were going down, we were able to still help them changing the loan programs. And then the interest, some people really needed, say, cash out. So we were able to, and they couldn't qualify, we were able to give them an adjustable programs. So you just kind of go with the flow. There's an opportunity in every market. If it's going down or going up, there it's just basically what kind of program you can offer them. So
that you're catering to both the commercial and the residential. And you also said that in residential, it's pretty much easy or easier than the commercial. So just for the benefit of the viewers watching us, let's say residential, what, or you know, you can answer for both. What are the qualifications that you have to look for in order for them to apply for a loan or to be helped by Platinum West funding? So let's say commercial or residential.
Right, and I think your first question was regarding this business, how we do it, and basically Platinum West funding is recognized by a lot of top lenders. And the mortgage business is not only done by the banks. There are very, very large mortgage companies like Quicken. Quicken is not a bank, but they are one of the very top, I would say maybe the #1 mortgage lenders, and we are their preferred broker. And so some of these lenders have established a wholesale relationship based on the ability of these brokers to attract clients. Because see, like now I have a lot of clients in my community, and so the lenders recognize that if they create a wholesale division and try to get us to send the business to them, because it will cost them thousands of dollars to do marketing and get the clients I can provide them. So we have several top lenders. So people sometimes ask, why broker? Why can we not go to the bank directly? I said, yes, you can, but we can provide you basically the same rates and probably same quality or better service because we are available, and you are dealing with, say, someone like me who has a master's degree and all the experience. Chances of you finding someone like that at the bank probably not going to happen, or it would be difficult, let's say. And then another thing is, because we have several lenders, and a lot of lenders have different options. So a lot of banks are pretty limited in what they can offer with their portfolio or whatever program they have. Because see, some lenders specialize in investment properties, some specializes in single-family homes, and so we know where to place you, and that's why. And a lot of things which we do for clients which banks probably won't do because they think it's kind of it could create an issue with them with their because big banks are always under scrutiny, and they sometimes are more extra careful. So, but we sometimes help people to improve their credit scores, because sometimes the people come in with, say, 660 credit score. Then after running their credit, we know that it can be improved to 700 or so, which makes them not only qualify for a better interest rate and lower payments, So that's why a lot of people come to us, and basically they get referred to us.
So which means you don't stop because I'm thinking about it, like for someone, either residential or commercial. Let's say I'm a small business owner and I want to loan, and so you can help me. But apart from the income, I also need to have a good credit score, right?
Yeah.
So what you do if I don't meet the credit score that for me to qualify, then you help me reach the whatever.
Well, it could not be only credit score. There could be some other issues, the length of employment, and if you're buying a rental property, what income bank would allow, what wouldn't allow.
Okay.
Because in our industry, we call it overlays. Overlays means, say, the Fannie Freddie, you must have heard of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Majority of the loans are bought by them, conforming loans. So they have certain guidelines. So, but what a lot of banks do to secure themselves further, they put in overlays. They say, okay, this is fine, but we're going to lower our, we will increase our requirements even further. So that kicks out a lot of clients. So you'll be surprised how many loans we do, which a lot of these major banks don't want to do. And it's not that the loans are bad, it just doesn't fit into the guidelines they have created. So that's why people like us, because they get our expertise and we know exactly
how you help. So how do you market? How do you reach out to your market? What kind of marketing do you do?
Well, of course we do some print media, and now we're doing a lot of social media. Now we started, we have somebody doing that. But my business has been, believe it or not, mostly word of mouth from the referrals.
Referrals.
Because I'm doing, I would say some of them are doing third generations loans. Because I've done a lot of physicians, over 200 physicians loans.
They were happy, they were satisfied,
so
and then
their children are physicians doing their loan. Not only physician, it's just in just about every profession. And I'm pretty happy about that.
Yes, of course.
And then we take care of them, and basically we do we do what we tell them. If we say it's going to cost so much, then I make sure that that's what it is. And that has really created. And in the beginning, when we offered like no cost loan, they call it, like there's no out of pocket, or we don't add anything to your loan. And people really, and at the end, if there was, we took care of it. And that really built up our business quite a bit, the referral business. So,
in over 30 plus years that you've been in this business, I know you already know the in and out of this business, and I can see how you're so proud of the achievement of the business. But then I also believe that, being a businesswoman myself, that there is no such thing as a perfect business. So, were there any challenges that you have faced or are facing? So we just want to find out how difficult it is to be in this industry.
In over 30 years, I've gone through about 3 cycles of this business, and especially in 2008 and 9, as you can see, when the value of the real estate dropped, considerably. It was so difficult to even finance anyone. That's when the government has come up with a program where, regardless of the value, they will refinance you. So we had taken that, but that was again a small portion because you still have to qualify for it. A lot of people didn't have jobs, a lot of people had late credit issues and everything. So during those 2-3 years, it was very tough. And people were refinancing was pretty much dead at that time. So, but again, then slowly things start coming up again. But now the challenges are the real estate values. As they go up, the incomes don't go proportionately.
I know.
So there's so many people don't qualify. So we had to be very creative in putting them into the right program, the lower interest
so you're
rate.
creating a program for this
Exactly, the lower interest rate or whatever it takes to get them qualified. And then credit issue, we see a lot of that because sometimes they don't qualify if they have, say below 680.
Yeah.
Then we do rescore them, and that's one thing people really like about us, that we do whatever it takes to, and there's a legitimate programs put out by credit bureaus that is called a rapid rescoring.
Okay.
So if someone is 660, it could be because they're using credit card too much.
What is the safest credit score?
What is,
let's say, for a credit score to qualify?
Well, you can get a loan basically even at any credit level. If it's an FHA, I've seen people with a 500 credit score. But of course, there are certain things you have to do.
High.
Correct. And so, if you have, say, 740 plus, you're pretty much going to get the best deal.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's basically every 20 points, the rates start fluctuating, if you, but over 760 really doesn't matter, So your gold, if it's 780, your gold shines a little more, but it's still gold, So what we do, we try to move people into the different bracket of the credit score to help them. Now that's something a lot of people won't be able to do or would want to do it because that's a little extra work. But we think it's a service to the client. Why not help them to do it? Because a lot of them don't know that their credit could be improved so fast.
Yes.
They think it might take months and months, but it's not true.
Okay.
There's a little bit of charge which we usually absorb and to help them out.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, and because we get a good client and it helps them to get a better rate and payments.
Is that, could you consider that as your edge?
Yes.
Among the other lending companies?
Not so much lending company, I would say, or the banks, obviously.
Banks. Okay.
Banks won't touch that because they think that's not in the area of their mortgage operation. Because they're always concerned that what happens if the credit does not improve and clients start complaining. But we always tell them, I said, look, this is a try, we're paying for it just to help you. If it doesn't, you don't pay. If it does, you still don't pay, but you get a better rate. But that cost of doing it, banks really don't think that legally they could put out, so it's not in their guidelines.
It's very good to know, AJ, that you don't give up on your clients.
We don't.
So these clients are really taken care of. Like if I am your client, then I would think that you are gonna back me up no matter what happens. If I fail in my first attempt, at least Platinum West Funding is here to help me out until I get there.
Yeah, basically, see, we work with a lot of realtors, And they really love us because I tell them, before you start showing properties to your client, bring them to us. Then we really analyze what is their situation, what is their financial, yeah, how much really they can afford to pay down, and what is their credit. So we structure it from the beginning, and the realtors really like that because they don't want to take them out in the field and they like the house and all of a sudden they know they don't qualify for it. Very frustrating for everyone. So I have trained the realtors who come to me. I said, bring it to me and I'll tell you what you can do with them.
Okay.
And that's when we do. Sometimes they have issues with that they have not filed tax return. We tell them they need to do it. And say like of 2017 income they don't have enough, but they know 18 they have made money, but they haven't filed it. So I tell them you need to file since you already made the money, then you will qualify. So, and then obviously that credit thing, which we help them do that. We also tell them what they need to pay off to qualify ahead of time. All these things we structure. So we had a pretty good success, and our lenders are also very happy, especially like Quicken, you can check. We have zero default on loan over these years.
Okay. So AJ, my question is, how far is the reach of your market? Let's say, do you only service SoCal or do you also service other states?
We are licensed for entire California.
Okay.
We were licensed before in Nevada and Arizona, which lack of activity, we basically gave up those licenses. But we are, since we're licensed in California, so we can go from San Diego to all the way up north.
All the way in California.
And which we do. We have clients from up north calling because of the previous experience. So.
AJ, 5 or 10 years from now, how do you see Platinum West funding?
Well, hopefully we'll grow. You know, I have two sons. One is a lawyer, one is a CPA. And they do help out in business.
Oh, they're helping the business.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, I think they will, hopefully, will run it themselves, you know.
Okay, so you have to pass on to
yeah,
your kids.
because the younger one has a financial background, and the older one also, since he's a...
And the mentor is here.
Right,
the experienced guy is here. AJ, for the televiewers, what do you want to tell them? Any message? Or if there are also some people who would like to not only apply for loans or to get funded, but also for those others who would like to be in this industry, what encouragement can you give them?
Yeah, well, see, this is obviously service industry, so you have to make a commitment to serve. My motto is, you know, I'm basically available 24 hours a day if I'm awake, you know.
Yes.
Because see, this mortgage and real estate, when people need you, they can't wait for you for a week or this and that.
Yes.
You had to be very responsive. And this is their, I would say after marriage, this is their one of the most important decisions. So to them it's very important, but if you don't show the same level of concern and interest in what they're doing, they'll go somewhere else. So if they feel that you are really equally excited and committed to help them, they'll work with you. So, and you have to like people. I'm a people's person, you know, that's, I think that's very important. And obviously you have to gain knowledge of what you're doing.
Of course.
That's very important. And this business is all very time oriented. And the legality involved, it's the contractual obligations they get into when they're buying it. So you are not maybe directly related to the contract, but you are part of making that contractual obligation fulfilled. If you don't do loan on time, the deal doesn't go through. Now he could get penalized, lose his deposits and things like that. So you have to be very committed in closing their loans on time and everything.
Time is of the essence.
My message to them is if they have any kind of need for commercial financing or residential financing, or they just want to know something, there's no cost. They can call us.
Okay, can you give them your number?
Sure. Yeah, our number is 562-916-7878, and my cell number is 562-972-5083.
And where your office?
Our office is right here in Cerritos. Actually, we were in Artesia, but now in Cerritos. But I'm Chamber of Commerce, Artesia Chamber of Commerce member anyway.
Know, of course,
Right.
yeah.
Our address is 17,100 Norwalk Boulevard, Suite 112, Cerritos. Zip is 90703. So you can drop in or call us. We will answer any of your questions. We have just about any expertise you can imagine, as long as it's sort of real estate related financing.
And you have a website that they can visit?
Yes, Platinum West Funding. www.platinumwestfunding.
.org or .com?
No, .com.
.com, okay. And Platinum West Funding, by the way, is a loyal member of the Artesia Chamber of Commerce, and that is why when AJ said that he would like to be a guest in our show, I didn't think twice, because they have been always a supporter of the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. AJ, it was really a pleasure to have sat down with you and interviewed you today, and I hope that you can come back, see what else, probably a new program that we would like to share with the community and the the people. So you're free to
I'll
and
be
welcome
glad to
come back. Yeah.
And it's my pleasure to meet you, and
Thank
thanks
you
for
so
inviting
much.
me
Thank
to
you
do
so
this
much,
thing.
Adrian.
Okay. Wonderful.
In any community, business truly matters, and that is why the Artesia Chamber of Commerce offers this great business TV show to you, so that we can help the city and the business community to thrive and be united to help build a stronger economy. So for all of you guys, please make business matter your choice and your voice. Again, this is Ina Rabino-Dahilig, your host, and do watch out for our next episode. Thank you so much and God bless. Bye.